IBM M1 Carbine. The M1 Carbine is an iconic firearm. IBM was, at one time, an icon in computing, business, and engineering. Over 6.1 million M1 carbines were produced during World War II. IBM produced 346,500 of those. That's less than 6% of the total. Post-World War II, the M1 carbine, along with many other firearms, were sent to countries as foreign aid. Mine went to Italy, and there it sat in storage since the 1950s. I'll get into my specific rifle in a bit. The M1 carbine has its place in World War II. Audie Murphy used it to kill Germans. He didn't have the internet to educate him on the cartridge being underpowered and ineffective. Audie was a small-framed man with huge huevos. That light carbine suited him, and he etched the serial number into his head, 1108783. Hollywood's telling of his story to hell and back included the carbine. Jimmy Stewart played the convict that helped design the gun in the 1952 Hollywood movie Carbine Williams. That's just a few years after the war. Many men in Hollywood were vets, and I believe they included the rifle in their stories because of the bond they built with it in service. Post-World War II, the rifle saw action in Korea, Vietnam, and to police departments around the world, including in the U.S. The carbine was also used by criminals and high-profile historical figures. One was fired by a civilian against the UT Tower murdering coward. Malcolm X used one. Patty Hearst used one. Bugsy Siegel was shot down with one. The carbine is, of course, not without issues. Plagued by inclement weather and lacking barrier-busting power, the Korean War made the issues stick out. I don't want to make the carbine seem infallible. It's a mechanical device operating inside specifications. With every war biopic, the values increase, and with every year passing, the availability decreases. It is estimated that over 1 million were left in Vietnam. In Korea, there are almost 1 million surplus USA-made firearms needing to be returned home, 770,000 of them being M1 carbines. The return has been blocked by presidents. The gun weighs about 5.5 pounds and is 35 inches long. The loaded 15-round magazine weighs 0.59 pounds, and the 30-round weighs 1.07 pounds. The mag pouch, commonly seen wrapped around the rifle's buttstock, is actually a belt pouch that clever GIs found a better spot for it to reside. Stripper clips hold 10 rounds and came into being after the 30-round magazine was rolled out. The magazine has a couple types of followers. One holds the bolt open when the magazine is empty, but the original did not hold the bolt open. When you extract the magazine with the bolt hold open follower, the magazine will not fall freely with the press of the mag release. You have to rip it free. The bolt will close upon removal of the magazine. There are mag couplers. I have a couple, but I've not tried to use them. It seems like adding an extra pound to the light rifle negates the light rifle part. My gun. When Midway USA was able to import M1 carbines from Italy in 2021, I jumped on the opportunity to get one. I wanted an IBM because of my nerdy background. I set my alarm to make sure I wouldn't miss out, but man, they were going fast. I missed the fine examples and got a good to very good rifle. I paid $1,500 and I had no regrets. It was time to tell the wife. The barrel and the receiver are stamped IBM Corp. Some parts are from Auto Ordnance. The handguard is from Rockola, and the stock and the bolt are from Overton for Inland. The trigger group and the safety are Type 1. The barrel band is Type 1. The two-hole handguard. Stock is oval oiler and low wood. Rear sight is replaced with the adjustable model, and the dial knob is uniform diameter. I have some spare parts and accessories. Trigger group, adjustable rear sight with step diameter dial knob, mag couplers, stripper clips, 15 and 30 round magazines, gas piston wrench, and brass deflector. Once I had the rifle in hand, I took it out to shoot with my dad. I tried hitting steel plates, but it was obvious the sights were not aligned. A few jams and a lot of misses. I put the rifle away after replacing all the springs. For this video project, I decided I was going to get the rifle sighted in and get some hits on steel. It seemed like it would be an afternoon of fun, but it led to a 2-hour ride home contemplating packing all the stuff up and selling it. I printed out a target that was supposed to allow me to sight in at 25 yards and be somewhat ready for 100 yards. Thank goodness I had stapled the target on one of my boys' tri-fold poster board school projects. You know, the kind that builds everlasting memories of you helping with homework. The red impacts were at 25 yards with some initial adjustments horizontally toward the left. A little vertical stringing for me, thinking this was going to be quick, and who needs to take their time. The yellow impacts were where I stopped at 25 yards and moved the target out to 100 yards. At 100 yards, seeing the green impacts is where my heart sank a bit. The rifle was impacting about a foot low and a half a foot to the right. So now my ride home. What a bummer. Sell it. You've had some fun buying it. Sell it. Don't invest yourself any more into the gun. Sell it. You satisfied your childhood memories and fascinations. Sell it. I got home and started my research. Ammo. The internet told me to check my ammo. It's got to be the ammo. The internet also told me that many of these rifles had the rear sight replaced, but they were never sighted in by means of filing the front sight. Holy crap. I can't file down the front sight. That will surely put the gun into a state of bubble that will ruin me financially and cause shun from my family and all the forums. Well, I chronographed all the ammo that I had. Arms Core was what I was using originally. The .30 carbine should be about 990 feet per second. I fired at least 5 rounds of each of the loads I had, and here are the results that I got on a 42-degree day with barometric pressure at 29.96 inches of mercury in North Texas. Arms Corps USA, 1875 feet per second. Remington green and white box, 1929 feet per second. Freedom Munitions, 2004 feet per second. And Korea PS stamp surplus from 1981, 1930 feet per second. All of the ammo impacted in the same area. Velocity and bullet design across the manufacturers did not make a noticeable difference. I was still a foot low and a half a foot to the right. My point of aim was the upper left target. Moving the rear sight to 200 and 250 yard positions still left me low, and the 300 yard position had me high at 100 yards. Enter the file. In order to get impacts to come up about a foot, I needed to remove about 0.07 inches of the front sight. I did it slowly, checking impacts while bringing the rear sight back down from 300 yards to 100 yards. About 200 rounds later, I was happy with the result, and I was able to move on to hitting some steel. A little windy, so the steel is not getting picked up by the mic. My drive home is better today. I'm happy with the IBM M1 Carbine. I have reloading supplies on the way. No regrets. Step out to 250. Hits at 250. Awesome. All right, now we'll go for the 12-inch target at 300 yards. This is a stretch. Empty.